Welcome in, everyone. MJ38 Show, episode number 71. Justin, Matthew, hosts and co-hosts, co-creators, co-founders, MJ38 Productions. We keep it moving. It's a beautiful day, beautiful life. Hopefully your existence is going swimmingly right now. About to join us in our moment. Let's have a moment together.
Like
Welcome
a dolphin. Swimming like a dolphin.
Like a dolphin. Danny Brown. What were you talking about? You say you were talking about some reels that you've been watching?
Yeah, it's just...
I'll explain the lore of Joe Rogan.
Yeah. It got... What I was going to explain to you is that I ended up watching a bunch of film on the interactions on the internet between Shane Gillis and Andrew Schulz.
Okay.
Through this rabbit hole I'd found.
Okay.
And it made me really not like Andrew Schulz so much anymore.
What was it talking about?
He's just kind of a douche to Shane. And I feel like he's my boy. So I'm like, bro, not cool, bro.
Not cool.
But like Shane Gillis had done 3 interviews or on Flagrant. He'd been on Flagrant 3 times.
Okay.
And then so I guess after the first one, he was kind of like blowing up. But then the people on Flagrant thought he was like low energy and low tempo. And then so...
Like negatively?
Yeah, that they had to do all the heavy lifting with like making a podcast that had energy and was funny and was like a good episode.
Okay.
That he wasn't like contributing a lot to that, even though he's this like really funny guy and should be able to light it on fire. Of
course.
So then those guys were like, "Oh, what? You don't want to fucking turn it on for us, bro?"
Okay.
And I think he said something like, "Dude, I'm sorry, man. I'm just kind of exhausted. This was like my 12th podcast that I've done in the last like 3 days." So I'm like,
"What? What are you saying?"
He had just released his special like that
12
week.
pods in 3 days.
Yeah, I think I'm being generous. I honestly think he said 13 in 2 days.
Christ.
So I was being generous, taking it down 12 to 3.
Yo.
Yeah.
7 a day.
Right.
2 days in a row. Each one's like an hour plus.
That's what.
Yo.
He might have been exaggerating a little bit because that's a lot. But if he even
It's almost impossible.
yeah, right. If he did 6, if that was his 6th podcast in 2 days, even so, I'd get it. Like, and if he worked out, didn't sleep
you gotta
well,
take care of yourself.
Yeah, there's like a whole bunch of shit going on there that might result in that person being a little tired.
Mm-hmm. Either way. Okay, so that was partially an explanation.
But they took it really negatively, and we're like, "Oh man, fuck you, bro! Like, you're gonna come on our show and not be good to us,
Not bring it."
Yeah. And then he's like, "Bro, it's my life, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
I'm tired, bro."
And then when he came back in, they like gave him shit about it because I guess it also the commentator and the video made it seem like they had already addressed it, so they were talking shit in a way like he was like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I got energy today, you know, it's good. But like Andrew Schulz like continues to like butt heads with Shane in this kind of like aggressive
On the episode?
yeah.
Okay.
And then like with his body language is super like flagrant, like stomping his feet and like grabbing Shane and then like kind of interjecting like douchebag stuff.
Oh no.
And then Shane's like just stays in the pocket, you know, and he's kind of like, well, this is like, you know, you guys, what is he talking about? Like at one point they're kind of gaslighting him about whether or not he played with PSG. Like he's like, yeah, I had to beat you in front of your boys at a FIFA game right before we got on the podcast.
Shane saying this?
Yeah.
Oh no.
And he's like, all your guys back there, come on, Andrew. I'm sitting there like the fucking visitor at the away team at this game. But we pulled off the win. It's cool. And then Andrew's like, yeah, but I mean, at halftime, you had to change your whole team. And he's like, you mean I made subs? And he's like, yeah, you had to make subs. And he's like, yeah, I did. I picked a worse team than you. And then everyone in the studio is like,
People get tired.
everyone in the studio is like, you picked PSG. They're one of the best teams. And he's like, I played with Manchester United. They're a different color. And then I had to make subs because they're not as good as like Spain, Barcelona. And then they're like, no, you picked PSG. And then eventually like one of the guys is like, he did pick Manchester United. And then then Andrew's like, oh man, we just let us fuck with them, dude. Just let us fuck with them.
Oh.
It starts with that. And then it continues to be like,
That's kind of lame.
Andrew kind of fucking with him. And then Shane calls him out for making fun of Down syndrome kids. Being like, this isn't funny. Just to like pull them up and laugh at them, like, look at these retards. Like, that's not funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they're like, no, we're comparing them to you. So like, we're making fun of you. And he's like, okay, so you're insulting them by calling them me, like the same, like the reciprocal of using them as an insult. You're gonna insult them with me. Like, what? Either way, it's just not that funny, bro. And then one of the other guys like makes a joke in that moment that was funny, and then they all laugh. And then it's like, that's funny because of what was happening here, the context. But the context is, it's just like, you guys are lame.
Yeah. Damn, I didn't know it was like that between them.
Dude, it was super obvious when you just watch the clips of like the confrontational weird moments that got captured on camera.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, Shane's super like reserved and like, why the fuck is this guy like this? You know? And then Andrew Schulz is kind of like a dog that's like all riled up, you know? Kind of trying to like hump him almost. Like, like that's the energy that comes off. It's weird though.
Oh man.
Like what happens there, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And then on the third time, I forget, he was just super composed. The commentator was like, he's like blossomed into, now he's been on Joe Rogan 7 or 8 times. Andrew hasn't been on 7 or 8 times in the last 2 years. So I feel like there's some animosity going on there.
There's some switching happening. There's some hierarchy shifting happening right now.
And then when Andrew comes with his bullshit, Shane's just like real composed and like doesn't really fold. Or also he like says stuff. He's like, why are you like this, bro? Like, is he like this all the time? I don't get it, bro. And just like clearly addresses the weird behavior, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Weird breakdown.
What the hell?
It was like film for Joe Rogan's friends.
Yeah, yeah.
And this channel had millions of views.
The celebrities.
Yeah.
Andrew Schulz, Shane Gillis. Is
Yeah.
there beef? Is there beef? Is there beef?
I think there's light beef.
There's something weird going on there.
Yeah.
Why would it not be just instant vibes? If we had either Shane or Andrew on, I think we'd be a vibe podcast, you know?
Right. Right.
Both on individually, I think it'd be a good time. We'd be chatting, whatever.
The YouTuber himself said it was probably, he was kind of like, Andrew Schultz kind of sucks. And he gets like, not aggressive, but like competitive for the mic and for like being the funny guy in the room.
Yeah, getting the biggest pops.
Yeah.
Hitting the jokes.
And then when Shane's like naturally more talented and getting more love, and then he's like, plays aggressive and then starts losing. It's making him play more aggressive while he's losing. It's like not cool.
Were there other instances between Andrew Schultz and like other people like that?
There was, I don't know. I didn't look more on the Andrew Schultz film. I looked more on the Shane Gillis film because I'm more into his film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you find?
He had another one where it was like he didn't. There was one where I think maybe it was just Bert Kreischer and him just explaining that Bert Kreischer is like annoying.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was one other good one I saw where it's like Brandon Schwab is just kind of like a
Who
douche.
is this?
Brandon Schwab. He's on Joe Rogan a lot. He's a
Comedian as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Heard.
He was just like a douchebag to, I think, Shane and his co-host on their podcast. It started this whole beef for like no reason. And then ultimately Shane's like, that guy sucks. And then I just explained like all the beef that they've had where they just rub each other wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But there was I think it was Shane and Bert where he talks about how they don't get along very much. Because Bert used to be a regular on Joe Rogan. And then, Shane they replaced that show with Sober October with Protect Our Parks.
I was just gonna say, Sober October hasn't been a thing for a minute now.
It's not a thing anymore.
You could feel Joe's getting so annoyed with Bert as well. He's like, shut the fuck up, you can't do that or whatever. Tom's got a whole podcast with him now.
Yeah. I kind of know what it's like to accidentally slip into that place where you're just like accidentally slapping the floor when you don't mean to. Like, I think that's what Joe Rogan saw was happening when he was doing Bert Kreischer on his podcast. He would just be like, the fuck did you say? Slap the floor. He's like, guys, we're trying to have a podcast, not hoop, you know?
Uh-huh.
And you got to get yourself out of those situations. So it's literally his show. And Shane Gillis is so gas, bro. Like, he's so chill, so cool, so funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's an easy. I'd rather do this than that, you know?
Yeah. Solid pickup, Joe. Does Shane live in Austin or in Texas?
Yeah.
He does?
Yeah.
That's tight. Bro, yes, we're going to the fucking mothership next weekend.
I can't wait.
Let's go. Yeah.
Literally can't wait.
It's going to be super fucking fun, bro. We went to I've been once before, saw Ron White. It was great. We're going to go have a little day in Austin, and it's going to be badass. It's going to be badass.
I can't wait. It's so nice to to go out. It's so nice to go out.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yes, enjoy life.
Yeah. It's like
Good company.
when you have like plans orchestrated, you're gonna go do things. You put on a nice outfit. For me, work out, shower. You know, do the nice soap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Feel real good about just like really present myself. You know,
Uh-huh.
and then just enjoy life, all the things it has to offer.
Have a nice little dinner, have some good food,
Shit, boy.
go laugh, have a couple of drinks.
I really can't wait.
Dude, comedy's awesome. Comedy's so tight. Just stand-up comedy or comedy in general. You know, people love laughing, and people are able to make a career out of making other people laugh through like shows and TV or just like talking, podcasts.
Yeah.
It's so valuable to us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just laughing.
How valuable?
Feeling good. At least like, what's the ticket cost? Like $50?
Definitely that valuable.
At least $50 worth.
Yeah, right.
It's at least $50 worth to go to a comedy club. It's like, I don't know how long it's going to be. It'll be like 2 hours-ish, maybe 2 and change
Hopefully.
for like $50.
Yeah, that's super fair.
Yeah, not bad at all. You can lose a lot more money on the tables than $50 in 2 hours.
Oh God, yeah. Oh God, yeah.
That's sometimes how I equate some of the money or some of like the entertainment, like what you're paying for.
I've really recalibrated the way I think about poker from watching videos online.
I've been watching a lot of poker reels too. I don't know.
Nice.
They've been popping up. We played some poker at the Super Bowl at Voss's.
Nice.
It was cool just to hop in for a couple little hands.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, it's cool. Cowboy. But if it's Texas Hold'em, bro,
Hold'em's fun.
that's the game you should play.
Uh-huh.
Because you can play that for hours and like legitimately probably be where you were if you play smart. Like if you fold
Just
when you should
when
fold,
you don't got shit.
and you hit when you have good hands.
Yeah, you get a little bit of luck, a little bit of favor.
If you get a lot of favor, you'll just win a ton of money.
Yeah, you just get the nuts every time. You're just like, fuck yeah, I got him. I got the best hand. Like,
Yeah.
hold my dick.
Yeah,
Sorry,
exactly.
Sorry, bro. Full house.
I think everybody that plays poker has had that night where you're just like, oh, it was easy to make money. All I did was like bet when I had good cards.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's like I got pocket aces or I got ace queen. I'm getting a whole bunch of face cards all the time. It's like I'm gonna play those face cards, bro. I'm sorry. Like it's just what it is.
Yeah, thank you, God. Like,
Yeah, right?
Thank you, sir. You dealt that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, 100%. So I think, and even like my wise counsel, i.e. my dad, has told me that before, where like, if you're going to go to Vegas, the best thing you do is sign up for like a Texas Hold'em tournament if you're going to gamble, and then just play super smart, like play to maximize your time playing. And I think that's good advice.
Yeah.
That's
been in a
fun.
tournament. I played like with homies, you know what I'm saying? Just like playing with friends or whatever. Light games, 8, 10 people.
I've thought about it. I think you can just sign up like the day before or the morning of when you're in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we should.
I'm sure there's different levels, you know.
Yeah.
Buy-ins, the minimum buy-in, the big blinds, the small blinds.
Right. Yeah, there's stuff. Or if you buy in for $1,000, but you get 50,000 in chips, you know what I'm saying? There could be like that scenario too. So there's no telling. I don't know how they operate it, but I definitely think we should do that next time we go to Vegas. But okay, so that idea is juxtaposed with what the thing that I've really been focused on now
Okay.
is that time on the table is short, bro.
Yeah.
Like, dude, if you're playing $100 hands and you brought $2,000, that's like what, 20 hands?
Be careful.
Be careful, dog. Be careful, dog. The punishment is high for losing 5 hands in a row.
Mm-hmm. It could happen. They could just go on a run.
But here's the other thing.
I've seen it.
How much money do you want to make?
You
Because
can go on a run too. I've seen it. I've seen both ends of the spectrum. It's crazy.
yeah, true. Last time I was there, I started with 3, went up to 9, and then back to 0. Then I pulled 3 out, started with 3, went up to 11, went back to 0.
He's going on a run. Just
It
it's
happens,
like
bro.
basketball. Yeah, basketball when you get 20-point runs, you know what I'm saying? It's going on a 20-0 run.
Dude.
It can happen both ways.
What's weird is you can quit that game while you're ahead, and instead of being a forfeit loss, you get the win.
Mm-hmm.
It's different than Madden.
Way different.
Yeah, for real. Like you just, dude told me you should get out when you're 3x. 3x your money. It's like that's pretty much all you're gonna make. At that point, you're being greedy.
At that one point in time.
Yeah,
Right there.
right there, right. Like
Yeah,
just
right there, right then. You maxed out your luck, kid.
just go
You
away
did
for a
it.
while,
Yeah.
dude. Like the
Take a hike.
The GTA police thing is hot. Like
Yeah, you're
5
on-
stars.
You're on 5-star.
Yeah.
You're on a blinking 5-star. Yes, bro. But we're talking about poker reels? Or you're saying you're seeing reels on
Yeah.
that?
Well, just that's the thing I realize is that. So how much money do you want to make? Because if you're trying to make $1,000, but you're playing $5 hands, you're gonna have to play for a long time.
Long time.
But if you play for a long time, you're not gonna win.
You're not going to win in the long run.
So the best thing to do would be to come in with some fucking
Heat.
some heat, dog, and then win in a short span of time, get to 3x, and then get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, I mean, same thing. Like, if you think the deck's hot, you think the moment's right, and you're betting $100 hands, and you're up 10 hands, so you're up $1,000, and then you play a $500 hand, and you can win that $500 hand and be up 15 hands, then you walk away with that and just feel good for a while, baby.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. But I think the shorter, like the fucking walk in there and do some damage and then get out of there.
Yeah.
If you're playing longer than an hour, you're fucked, in my opinion.
You're not going to win. It's skewed. It's skewed. It's 60-40, you know what I'm saying? It's flipping a coin, but it's 60-40. Mm-hmm. And you're just going to lose more often than not in the long run, you know, just mathematically. It's just what the fuck's going to happen here. Statistics and shit.
Yep.
I don't make the rules.
Nope.
It just is what it is. But you can go on a run the other way. It can happen. But if you do, it'll swing back on you. But I think I've heard the exact same advice. I don't even know his name, but it's another social media character. He's like heavily tatted up, and he's talked up. You know, you've seen that? Yeah, he's like heavily tatted up, talking about going to the casinos and shit. And he's like, yeah, the best way to do it is to go and like don't go in there betting $20, $40 a hand. It's like go in with like $500 a hand for like 3 hands, and if you win, get the fuck out. Like, boom, 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 I'm out.
Yes.
Hopefully you win 1 or 2 and just dip or whatever, you know. But yeah, I guess
That's the most extreme version of what I'm saying. But yeah.
the theme is that he's like, yeah, the more time you spend there, you're gonna lose. So if you just come in and you just bet like really big off the rip and you win once or twice, like you can just like dip right there and you're good, you're done.
Yeah.
You can win in like 2 minutes. You can win $1,000 in 2 minutes and dip.
Done, bro. That makes everybody happy. No one's mad about that.
Nah, bro. Yeah. Win two $500 hands or two $500 hits in roulette or whatever the fuck you're playing, craps.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I'm out. Deuces.
Dude, one thing about watching the film of myself last time I was in Vegas is I feel like the people that were dealing me the cards were like, this idiot's got to fucking leave, bro.
They know. They know, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like, they wanted me to leave so bad.
We should get a blackjack dealer on here, a Vegas dealer on
Dude,
the pod.
I don't know if they can talk about it. I mean, maybe. But I think
a little bit.
There's moments, bro. Like, I'm telling you, that lady, I pulled up. You guys were going to bed. I probably should have gone to bed. I'm in Vegas. I'm gonna go play some dice. What's up? I need to hoop.
We're in Vegas. Come on.
Yeah. And so I put on fucking nice outfit. Go downstairs. I'm super nice. I'm having a blast. I'm like, hey, hi, how are you tonight? My name is Matthew. I'm actually here from Texas. This is actually the first table I've been at. I've been dying to do this for months. Here we go. I'm ready.
Were you playing?
My favorite game I just found out about, which was like Hold'em.
Oh yeah. I remember you. Yeah. It was like a Hold'em, but like everyone's going against the dealer, so you don't have to beat everybody. You just got to beat the dealer.
Yes,
more or less.
And then it was super dope. There was also side bets that hit so many times. Like if you were able to land a straight or a flush or three of a kind, then you would get like an extra $50-$75. And so the swings were big on that game, which I liked because I'm like, can't be here too long anyways. But there was points I should have left. But the weird thing was when I sat down, talking to this lady, she's like, "You're such a sweetheart. You're such a sweetheart."
The dealer?
I think the pit boss.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like the person that came over to like check on the table. How's
counting
everything
the money
going?
and shit.
Yeah. And then she's like, "How's everything?" Right when I sat down, and I'm like, "Amazing," And then I wondered. I always wondered if when she blew me a kiss, if that was some kind of signal to deal me some nice cards. Because I was winning fast, boy. I was like, hey, welcome to Vegas, Poppy. Let's go. Can I get some more drinks for my dogs? Like, we were balling, bro. We were up like $600 so fast.
Damn.
I thought I broke the code. I ain't never going back.
That was easy.
Yeah.
Life on easy mode.
Yeah, facts. And there's just times I should have left. Like the table died, clearly. I'm up $900 and 3 people leave. It's like, bro, fucking leave, dog. Like the moment's done, bro.
Lightning struck.
Go to bed with fucking up a rack. You just paid for your trip.
Brah.
Hopefully that lesson's worth more than the rack. Hopefully.
Live and learn. Living and learning.
So that's what I've learned about cards lately is I feel like, plus if you're up $1,000 and now I'm walking down Vegas greased up with a rack, what do you want? What do you want? A picture of Spider-Man? What's he want? $20? Let's spread the love, Papa. Let's fucking do what the fuck ever, bro. Like that's a much better experience than being like, God damn it. Can I borrow a cigarette? God damn it. Yeah. Right. I'd rather be greased up, paying for extra drinks, extra cocktails. Do a round of shots on me.
A little bigger tips.
Yeah, boy.
Yes, bro.
I hope that's my añejo hitting.
Yeah. Someone take that and run with it.
Run with that shit.
Give us your victory stories.
Big trust.
Yes, bro. But yeah, man, it's gonna be super fun to go fucking see Joey Rogue stand-up comedy. So fun. So cool. Dude, I think we could do that shit, man. It's just a matter of organizing the funny, People say, "Oh, you're funny." So you're funny. You're funny. It's like, I'm trying to get paid for that shit. I'm trying to monetize that shit. It's valuable. I know it is.
Yeah.
Being entertaining, being funny, being interesting.
That
shit's valuable.
If you never monetize it, a long time from now, the day that you die, everyone will say how much they loved and appreciated that about you.
Yeah, right.
It's valuable. Like, guarantee, Pat. It'll be like, man, Justin was just such a person that always brought a lot of life and always was like relieving to be around and could shift the moment away from being stressful and into just like funny that it is what it is,
Yeah.
Like, your perspective is like a breath of fresh air all the time, bro.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
Yeah.
The dog.
Yeah, but I'd rather you get paid for it now, dude.
Yeah.
Like, fucking run the racks for my guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, dog, for real. And
Yeah.
I know it's crazy. We could do it nowadays too, like in such a way that we have access that we never had before. So many podcasts, so many social media things. Everyone's getting paid for that shit. It's wild. Not everyone,
it's
but,
skewed. It's skewed, right? You got to be Mr. Beast is not even in the same fucking category as the other people that are like making it because the avenue is open, because he's like fully tapped into the algorithm. Like he knows exactly how long his cuts should be scene to scene, how much color needs to pop, what the fuck, like
title, thumbnail, effects, sound effects, all the whole nine.
He's so dialed. Like that's his business model is be dialed.
Been doing that for years.
Right.
Been trying to learn it for years with his homies.
So we could start being like engineers, engineers. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of different than what we're talking about being a comedian, though. Like Joe Rogan's able to do. I don't know. He's like he's bigger than what? Like,
he is. He's bigger than what?
Yeah. So he's able to transcend past needing to be so dialed to the algorithm.
Yeah.
Because he's like Gucci or Nike or whatever you want to say. Like he's the top of the brand of what is comedy and podcasting. But how do you crack through there? It's like, I don't know. We're gonna have to figure that part out.
A little bit of lightning striking. A lot of truth. I think those are two things I can lean on as rocks. It's like you just gotta be true, spirit of truth, whatever art form you're creating, whether it's like a comedy, music, just be like have a true expression of ourselves and of our like point of view. That's valuable, and trying to sculpt it in a way that's relatable or makes you gives you an emotion to embody or produces an emotion. It's like makes you feel like empowered or fucking like let's go. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. Get you through that set in the gym. Yeah. We're able to do that with, like, comedy does that for people. Whenever you, like, it's not the same thing, like, it is the same thing, but it's different. Like, you could be funny in music for sure, but it's, like, comedy, like, you're literally just trying to be funny and, like, identify the funny thing and make it relatable or, like, shed light on something that everyone's kind of doing, but, like, no one talks about. Or,
yeah, sometimes
like social, like or like Jerry Seinfeld. There's so many different avenues within comedy itself as well.
That's the thing. It's crazy.
You can fucking have like Carrot Top props,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Or you could do whatever in any and every other comedy. Like you can be clean or whatever.
I saw this hilarious guy that I don't like any of his stuff. He's like a guy that gets called up on Kill Tony, and then he was doing a set, and it was just killing. Like it was the same brand of comedy, and I didn't like the vanilla, I didn't like the caramel, but then the chocolate came out, and I was like, well, fuck, maybe he got something over there, because like he's kind of corny and like doing a bit about being like a neurotic person, but it was just so obviously hilarious. Like I hit play on this one or scrolled up and it came up, and like the first joke was funny, the second joke was funny, and he's doing the same thing he always does, but these ones were hitting. And like you felt the audience, you felt the undeniability in the moment. I'm like, oh, he's got him. Like this is a good set. He's too far in for this not to all
hanging
land
on every word.
Yeah, and then at the end they go nuts, and I was like, yeah, dude, he got him. Like it was so cool because I've seen it not work. Like he's barely working, and they're trying to help him get over better on the. We don't really have a way to show people stuff on here because I could show you I saved it, but I'll show you later. But that's the thing is the avenue's different. It wasn't Jerry Seinfeld like talking about bananas.
The dry cleaners.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that. It wasn't Bert Kreischer telling you a drunk story, or Tom Segura telling you about a black person voice he used. Joe Rogan talking about aliens. It was like he's doing this impression of like a neurotic person. And I don't know, man. Comedy's weird like that. Yeah. It doesn't have to be all jokes or like, what are impressions? Impressions are hilarious. You remember like the guy that would do John Madden? Was that Frank something?
This comedian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Frank Caliendo.
Okay. He
would do impressions of people. He would just like, well, that's a guy, when you see him running down the field, you think, I wonder what it feels like to hit a refrigerator. Like, he would just tell like John Madden-esque jokes on air, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Just in impressions.
So funny. My dad and I listened. That guy became like super famous. He was hyper rich.
That's hilarious.
For impressions of fucking people.
Right? So what the fuck is that? It's like, that's funny. Or yeah, even making just like voices. Or, you know what I'm saying, altering your voices, like having different characters coming out of you. You know, I do that all the time. Just like all the time, bro.
Yeah.
in my life. Just like at work and shit.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, people, I guess it's not really impersonations exactly. It's just like kind of different personalities or different like points of view or different characters, you know? If your personalities were like people within yourself that you're embodying, or like they're taking over your light. And then sometimes I give one of the voices or one of those lights like a voice to it, you know, with like different proportions of whatever. Being a jock, it's like, oh yeah, fucking new guy over here making cappuccinos or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm with you. I love the voices. I like doing the surfer crush. It's like, dog, that's a big crush.
It's a vibe.
Dude, I'm just looking for a vibe. Yeah, I love the surfer guy. I like when I get in my Aubrey Graham and I'm talking like Canadian. So when I'm like kind of like not upset or aggressive, I'm like, hey, I can't even do it until I can do it.
Until it comes out, because it's not like your default. It's something else. You got to let that thing enter in.
Yeah.
You're like, summon it.
Yeah.
We love that
It's
shit.
like a spirit that takes over you, you know? It's weird.
I think we all have that. We all have those kind of things what Jordan Peterson's talking about. It's like having a personality. It's like there's a whole bunch of different ones that we have, but we're like they're axially located around the central thing that is you, or like, you know what I'm saying, you, and then you're observing all of that. But like you have all these different personalities that are going on, different characteristics, introversion, extroversion, all the big five or whatever. But even it gets deeper than that, or you know what I'm saying, more intricate. Like every emotion, like Inside Out type shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy, yeah.
Yeah, dog. But
it's crazy what makes up our personalities, bro. Mm-hmm. That should get deep.
That should get deep. Yeah, we going deep, bro. We get up. Yeah, life is so rich. We're just talking about how like a line in a movie or a line in a song is what we were talking about specifically. But a line in a song can like be that line forever until one day something happens and you hear it in a different way and it becomes deeper and more meaningful. You're just like, oh shit, like that's what they were trying to express. Or you see like the double entendre, or you live what they were trying to talk about, and you're like, oh shit, that hits hard now.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Not with you. I had that happen the other day too. I know you were telling me about revving up and going on a run like I'm DMC. Mm-hmm. And then I had one with Drake maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago where I was like, oh, fuck, that's super hard now. It was like the first part of the bar I thought was just like unattached. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then I found out it was attached, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Holy shit.
Right.
Yeah, that shit happens to you.
Mm-hmm. That definitely happened to me big time whenever I was listening to Sober by Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
Back a while. Fuck, it was when that song was relatively new, I guess. Or it was probably like 2018. No, probably even before that, like 2017, 2016. But yeah, that song just like flipped its meaning, or like flipped it on its head, its meaning. It's called Sober, and it's kind of like a breakup song to a degree. But yeah, it was like I was viewing it through the perspective of the person who was broken up with, and then I found out that it was more about the other side, the person who, or like I guess it was one perspective that I had of like the split, and then I saw the other half of the split, and I was like, oh shit, this song is more about the other half of the split than I thought the entire time it was about this half of the split. It's like, holy shit. This like I empathize with this song way more now. This is crazy. I'm waving off this shit. This is like uncoincidentally meaningful, more meaningful than I can. You know what I'm saying? I can even grasp. I can't even comprehend it.
Yeah.
But we get a little glimpse. We're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
That's some holy spurt.
I think it's stepping into that quantum too, like where you know what to say, and then you're like, that's perfect. Like, what the fuck is that? Like,
what am I trying to express here? What's the idea I want to get across?
Yeah.
And then like that couples with your mental vocal cord spirit of truth, and then out comes something.
Yeah. And then those words, you're like, those were the right ones.
That was it.
Right.
Gas.
And then like, I remember one time I was on super psychedelic vitamins, and
yeah.
And I'm trying to have a conversation with my sister, and it felt like I had entered the story of the Tower of Babel, because like all of a sudden her words like didn't process in my head as like words. Like there was no definite. I couldn't just like, it was like a different language almost.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
couldn't make sense of it.
I know she's speaking English, but like the words that I use to say this mean this, but then she's using those words. But then how do I know that what she's trying to say are those words? Like, I don't even know if what we're saying are the same things. Like maybe I'm saying peach and you're saying peach, and like, are you really talking about what I think a peach is though?
Yeah.
Because like, what if you're talking about a book and I just don't? Because that's what it felt like. I'm like, I don't think that our fucking words are the same definitions to each other. I think we're like hoopla on each other right now. It just hit me hard.
That is true. That is very true.
Right?
Like,
There's a truth there,
there's a truth in that for sure. Like we all are agreeing that we're speaking English, but we all have different like definitive what this word means or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Yeah. Like it's also like, what does mean something to you? Like, I don't know how you guys envision words, you know what I'm saying? But like assassinate has like a sharpness to it in my mind.
Big time.
Yeah, that's a sharp word. That's like yeah. Yeah.
God. Fucking the pew.
You also like, if you like kill a witness in like a cop show, like you know, you're gonna get rid of the witness. You don't assassinate a witness. You assassinate like
a president.
Well, I wasn't gonna say
okay.
it, but yeah. Someone that's like a fucking important. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So there's another like added texture.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, you assassinate just like a bystander in the street, or like we call that like just like a burglary or whatever the fuck, like just murder.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Murder or like casualties or like if you're plotting to do it, like I think you call it a target maybe, but the action, the verb of the killing would probably killed. or murder, but assassinate's not.
It's different.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, like the level of different and nuance that has, it's like, are we on the same wavelength as to what we're assigning to that nuance?
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
And then I get into this weird part of thinking, and it's like, what it reminds me of my dad, where I'm just like, oh, you're just wrong. Like,
What?
like the way that you perceive the word is incorrect.
Oh yeah, the nuance that you're trying to derive meaning from, the thing that's like intangible.
It's definition. It's truth. You know?
Yeah, I think you're off the mark.
Right.
You're just off the mark. You're not. I think I'm pretty dialed into like how to shoot this, like calibrate this shot, and like I'm pretty close to the bullseye. I'm not like perfectly there, but I think you're like not close to the bullseye.
Yeah, yeah.
Objectively.
But that doesn't go over well. Like you can't just disregard what someone's saying because you don't think they're using the words to like line up exactly with how they. I mean, sometimes you try to correct people, but like also other times it doesn't really matter that much. You know what I'm saying? We can kind of still communicate.
Yeah.
But in that moment with my sister having the conversation, it was frightening. I was startled. I was like, "Oh my god, what if we can never talk about stuff again?"
How long did that? How long did that last?
I had to go in my room, chill for a while.
I can't listen. I need to figure out what's going on here. I need to take a moment.
I laid down on the bed and I had the like neon lights in my room, so there's a big blue light just like straight on my ceiling, and I just stared at that blue light for probably 2 hours.
Nice.
Yeah, it wasn't comfortable though. It was like the isness of the wasness of the moment. This is actually my sister right here.
Oh, what's up, G-dubs?
Yeah, no, I'll just text her and tell her we're on a pod right now.
You can answer it or no? Is it good?
Okay. What's up, G-dub? Welcome to the MJ38 podcast.
Guest spot.
What's up, Brother Bear?
Yeah.
Not much.
This is tight.
we're just telling a story about when I felt like I didn't know how to talk to you because I didn't know if our words meant the same thing when we were taking a vitamin dose. But anyways,
Figured out, man.
yeah, we definitely came back to a place where we knew what each other was saying.
Yeah, you lose the grip on the things. The meaning you assign to things, you forget.
Yeah, it's weird. But hell yeah, we're still talking about doing hot works later.
Yeah, sounds perfect. I just got back from buying a dress for Justin's wedding.
Hey, it's coming up.
We got like 2 weeks, dude. Less than 2 weeks.
We should have a countdown on there.
I'm outside in the Camry. Right outside. Because time flies, boy. I swear to God. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're going to go see Joe Rogan next weekend to celebrate before Justin ties the knot.
Whoa.
Not
Heck
tired.
yeah.
Yeah,
Little batchy party.
yeah, for sure.
A little batchy.
Hell yeah. But that's cool. I'll finish up this podcast and then let you know time frame. I was maybe hoping we could push to 7 o'clock, but I think I can still make our window.
Yeah, let me see what's up with the schedule. Sorry to bomb your podcast. Hi, listeners.
You're good.
You got anything for the fans,
First
for the
call
MJ38
in.
community?
Yeah, the first call in.
Yeah. You know what? When things seem hard, just keep your head down, and time and forward momentum makes all things better.
There it
That's
is.
gas.
That was fire.
That's absolute gas. Gas in the fucking tank.
What a ray of sunshine. And what can be a
All right,
cloudy
love you guys. I'll talk to
disposition.
you later.
I love,
Love
you,
you,
G.
G-Dub. You're the ish.
All right,
Talk to you
big
soon.
guys.
Peace.
Yeah.
That was fire.
Nice. Yeah, it's a scary thing. It's what the Tower of Babel was kind of hinting at. The idea that you could just like not have. And Wesley was talking about it on on the Joe Pod. He was talking about I guess ancient languages that seem to have kind of populated out of nowhere. There's no like most languages are derived from something else. It's like something else being a foundational root, and then it just slowly branches out into different things. Like one tree, we kind of trace that tree back to the original roots. But he's like, some languages just popped up and had no roots, no preceding roots, and then whenever it died off, like that, and it never continued. So it's like the Tower of Babel suggests that they couldn't speak the same language anymore, like separated out all the people, and they couldn't communicate, they couldn't trade, they couldn't whatever, they couldn't coexist.
Yeah, that's what that story says. Like, and I mean, again, this is like, what do those words mean to you? You know. But for me, whenever I went through that experience of literally feeling like I couldn't communicate with grace, and it was like startling. And then I was also like, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying when I say these words, like how you'll perceive them, and I don't want to like misrepresent myself or like say stuff that doesn't like. But I think it was weird because I think what was actually happening is I was realizing that like even love, like what does love mean? Like what is
love? The whole song about that shit,
right? It's a timeless classic.
Uh-huh.
Because I think partially because it's a good question, Like, what is that? I think that I know what you're talking about if you start telling me about how much you love someone, right? Like,
Yeah.
I have like feelings associated to that and experiences associated to that, and
Yes.
what like expectations for what that means to me over here that I'm applying to your meaning over there.
Yeah.
But that's like hinging on something that I'm not so sure about, you know? that was the realization I was having, is that these I'm a walking amalgam of ideas and experiences, and then I do my best to communicate thoughts and ideas out here. That's all of us all the time.
Yep.
But but I think in that moment it was weird because the only thing I can relate it to is that's the Tower of Babel, because it was just like I felt startled and scared, and we could no longer build together. And I was like, I got to go be alone. You know,
I gotta separate.
yeah, it's like crazy.
Dude, that's trippy as shit. Or part of what you were talking about sparked an idea in my mind, because you were talking about like what is love, like the idea of like what love is, and I don't know why, but I think that thought crossed my mind the other day, maybe last week. But I was thinking about that, and I think it's pain. You know what I'm saying? It's like pain to lose something is like love for that thing that you have pain for. You know, if you were to lose it,
Wow.
you know,
Wow.
something like that. They might be integrally attached.
I think, yeah. What if love is you would pain for losing this thing, but you're not losing it? What's the opposite of that? Like if it would hurt to lose it and you're like, oh my God, if I lose this, it would hurt so bad. But you're not losing it. So then would that feel good? You know what I'm saying? Is that love?
Yeah.
Partially.
Right.
Maybe on some kind of metric, but I don't think it's not love described in the Bible per se.
Mm-hmm. I think it's deeper than we can comprehend. It's a 4-letter word, but it's like the foundation of reality, I think.
Right. Yeah. Our ideal, it was a physical representation of love. It's like, that's hard to digest, but
Yeah, willing to self-sacrifice for
that's
others.
really our best mark for the mark.
Yeah.
Is self-sacrifice.
Mm-hmm. Centered around pain, which you take pain on willingly for the ones that you love.
Yeah, even when they don't know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you're the only one that knows what's going on. That's rowdy.
Rowdy shit.
That's rowdy.
Life is deep. I think there's another bar that reminds me of the idea of that, but it's not love. I think it's betrayal. I think it's what the trope is, what the rapper's talking about. But I'm pretty sure it was on I think it was Benny the Butcher on a song with Russ. But I think he was more or less just trying to say that, like, I can't, the only way you can stab me in the back is if I trust you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Same type of idea.
Yeah.
It's like if you're an enemy and you do me wrong, it's like I kind of expect that. So you can't really backstab me if you're my enemy or if I don't give you that trust.
Dude, here's another thing I've been thinking about talking about love, though.
Okay.
I wanted to marry my high school sweetheart. Wanted to marry my college girlfriend. Wanted to marry my first adult girlfriend. Like, I think that, like, the idea of, like, I went into that relationship hoping to have, like, a love story and, like, a partner and to get married.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what if I'm, like, that expectation, that thing that I want, and then I, like, date somebody, and then I just, like, cast them into that play and just expect things to play out into that reality. And then, like, when things are aligning in that capacity, that gives me such positive emotion and appreciation that's love, quote unquote, that's love. But it doesn't necessarily mean, like, I think loving, like, there's some movies that I fucking love.
Mm-hmm.
They have some fucking nuance to them.
Yeah.
Well casted. The lines are amazing. I'm like, I gush over them. I'm like, I love this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
But when I'm dating, maybe like the person, like the quality, the traits, the characteristics, the nuance, choices, dialogue, I think I should be like, I fucking love this person.
Yeah.
Like, fire, yo. Like,
Fire character. I love that character.
right. Instead of being like, oh, you're going along with this play that I have in my head of my imagination of how love should go, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think maybe, because I've seen it in other people too, where it's just like, I think, like, you're telling me that you love this person, but I'm starting to wonder if you've, like, cast this person into your love movie. And then you're like, I will do anything for this person. I'm like, I think you would do anything for the person who is your soulmate.
Yes.
But, like, and then you've cast this person as that person.
Yes.
And then you're doing it in the name of that. And I don't know if that connection, like, maybe the reason you're having difficulty right now is because that's a misconnection. And you're, like, blowing the fuse.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to realign those things separately. It's like, this is my expectation, but expectation necessarily isn't reality. But at the same time, like, the person is what I should be loving, not the expectation being met. And that's a difference.
Yeah.
Because meeting expectation could be, you could be misperceiving reality. It could be a temporary thing, but like loving the person isn't necessarily. I don't think you're misperceiving reality if you're like, when you're listening to a song, you're like, yo, you're not misperceiving reality when you feel that.
When you're feeling it in the moment.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's undeniable, even to yourself.
Right.
You're so encapsulated or whatever, enamored.
But you got to like discern like, is this person really doing this to me, or is like what I want to happen here doing it to me? I think there's a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The story.
Yeah. Because I think maybe it's because of Disney, but I think we all have a presupposition of like some kind of romantic love story, or like just the idea of like being able to go out on a date and for it to go the way you want it to, and for those dates to culminate into some like really meaningful experiences, and for those meaningful experiences to kind of generate like a closeness that you share with only that person, and then that closeness leading and resulting in wanting to continue to spend more time together and kind of like blend lives together, and that ultimately resulting in wanting to get married because you want to fully blend your life together and then be on that page with that person for the rest of your life, which is predicated on the format that marriage is like where love should go. I think if we didn't have that as like a formatting for us, then maybe we would do other stuff with love. I don't know.
I think, or I guess marriage is, we think of like traditional weddings when we think of the word marriage, or at least I do. But I think marriage is like a cross-cultural. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the combination of the two. It's like, it's not even just biblical. It's we've been doing that forever. It's like the foundation of reality, or of like society. It's like two solid units, and then they make more little baby units. You know, for caveman times and shit. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Before we could even like really maybe I guess we had some sort of articulation, but we couldn't like write shit down. I'm sure. Do you think in those times, like caveman times, were they like? When did monogamy become like a thing?
I don't know. If I had to guess, in caveman times, there would probably be more successful couples than individuals.
Right.
And so I think that might have just been like survival at some point, you know what I'm saying? But I also think there's probably cavemen that had like different mating rituals. It's like, oh, you're beautiful, I want to have sex with you, I'm going to compete with these other cavemen to have sex with you. And then whoever's like winning the most competitions to have sex with the women probably has more like access to all the women, you know? It's like less civilized.
Big time. But I'm sure like in Native American times, they were doing
I think
like mating ceremonies and shit, you know?
Yeah.
And that wasn't that long ago. But I guess, hey, preceding that, when did that like start to become? But I just think it's like the marriage is like the results are like the leveled up version of love, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it's like, built into this, like the society.
Yeah.
Right? Making more people. And like, how do we make these people more like effective or like competent? It's like give them an environment, or be able to curate a place where they can like develop themselves.
Yeah.
You know, and become like the best version of themselves.
Yes.
So I think it's like all of that's.
I think that's predicated on the love
what's
too.
going on here?
Like I think the end ultimate goal is to give them the best life that they could have, and it's like the best way to do that is to have like a stable foundation home with masculine and feminine energy and good compromise and balance, different viewpoints, perspectives. That's culminated in creating a culture of cultivation. God damn, that's a hard sentence.
Oh, yes, bro. Or it's like it's like you have all three. It's like mother, child, or mother, daughter, or whatever. No, father, mother, and child. And it's like that's like a holy trinity in and of itself. Where it's like each one of those three individuals have their own personality traits and their own introversion, extroversion, 5 big personality trait distribution scales going on, all 3 of them. But then also I think all 3 of them jointly, and maybe even just like the couple itself as well. Like the marriage of the couple is its own personality, and then like the family is its own personality. And like those personalities can be hopefully better than your individual personality or whatever, you know what I'm saying? More well-rounded, more better, just a puzzle piece that fits more properly into the society. Big puzzle that we all got going on that we're all a part of here. It's like, we all got to get along, man.
Yeah.
Like, we got to communicate. We got to trade. We got to all that shit.
Yeah.
Foundational, man. Love, man.
Yeah. That's just...
What is love? We
What
just talked about it for a little bit there.
That's solid.
We got in there a little bit.
That's definitely...
That's the What is Love segment.
But we can come back to the What is Love segment. I feel like it's worth talking about.
What is love?
Yeah, I was thinking about communication.
Yeah, bro. Tower of Babel shit. It's crazy.
Yeah, communication is nuts. But then I was also thinking about one thing I like about the Vikings is like the Vikings were like from Germany, I think, but the part of Germany that they were in was like Scandinavia,
Like Sweden or some shit, right?
maybe Sweden, yeah, or like
Scandinavia, yeah.
this pack of Vikings there were Vikings in Scandinavia, and that's the ones I'm talking about right now, but they were also spread out for sure.
I'm sure, yeah.
But the Vikings in Scandinavia, they couldn't grow crops because like
It's too cold and shit.
and the ground wasn't good, and there were like other parts that were like better, pretty much, and then
More fertile lands.
yeah, facts. And so they ultimately like got to a point where they maxed out like how much their population could be versus how much food they could produce. And then they were like, yo, we need to like try to like, we can either go to like distant lands and go raid, or we can like travel back down to what is like the homeland and see if we can't like trade some of this stuff, like the hunting that we've done and the fish that we've caught, for like grain and shit like that, so that we could last winters. And then I think people did like the story of Vikings on TV on Netflix is like they got to that point, and then Ragnar's like, we need to go raid and stop bullshitting. We go raid these little towns and we get a little money, and we do that every year. It's like, let's go to fucking Spain. Let's fucking do it. Stop being pussies. Let's go to Spain. And then he ends up killing the king, becoming the king, running on the platform of let's go to Spain. And then everybody's like, fuck it, change 2025. Like,
Yeah.
And then that's like how that happens. And then he's like a truly historical figure. But then earlier in the days, before that, all that happened, when they were at their limit, they got in boats and they took a bunch of shit to go trade down the coast, like just as far, basically, as they went down a river until they got to not an ocean, but like a sea, and then traveled down the sea and then got to the homelands. And then the homelands were like fucking booming, and they were doing like science, algebra, like artwork. It was like fucking nuts to them, and they were like, these are our people, like what the fuck. And they had written language and shit like that. They were just so far ahead, and then they ended up like trading for stuff until like they were good, and then they could like have more people. But then the other thing that they did was raid. When they went back up the coast, they would raid all the small cities on the way up the coast, which were like, some of them were their own people, so it's kind of fucked up. It's fucked up.
I was just thinking about that. I was like, it's so fucked up.
Right?
Let's go raid and pillage.
Yeah, dude. Some people were like, that was their
Fucked up.
like
bread and butter.
In Game of Thrones, they have the Reavers.
The Greyjoys.
Yeah, bro. Like whole culture, whole society predicated on that shit.
We do not sow. It's like, you're kind of a bitch then. It's kind of like,
Fuck you guys.
it's part of the foundation of life, bro. You got to sow.
They're like the dragon of death, like, or the chaos and the yin yang.
Yeah, the water.
Yeah.
The water people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, literally.
Right.
Yeah. So that kind of makes sense.
The
like
sea folk.
some kind of balancing structure.
Chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. That shit's. Yeah, I remember thinking about that when I was watching that show. I was like, y'all are kind of bitches, bro. But they ended like they kind of get theirs, you know.
I don't know.
They're not super prosperous.
I'm at the part where the uncle came back and then is trying to kill he's just trying to get with
Cersei.
Yeah, so that way they can run the world.
Run it.
And then he has to like prove his love by going crazy in the army. But he's a fucking dick, bro.
Assholes.
Yeah.
They're asshole people.
Yeah. No, not for me. The Theon Greyjoy's character arc, I'm trying to see how that ends up, because good God, man. Like,
yeah, right.
Crazy
bro.
life, boy.
Crazy. That show is fucking wild, dog.
Here's a question for the podcast.
Yep.
Could you continue to be a protagonist without your dick?
Ooh. That's a rough one.
It's so tough to imagine, right? Just like in general.
What's his name? Greyjoy's pretty hard.
That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, it gets to a point where you're like really want him to be a protagonist, but like he's been tortured in and out of himself. It's like, can he ever be Jon Snow now? It's like, what's the difference? Like, well, he doesn't have a wiener.
I don't think that limits him per se. Nah, I don't think so. I think Greyjoy could be like a main character, you know, type person.
Now that I'm thinking about it, the Unsullied are the
yeah, all of them.
Yeah,
all of them.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's one that's definitely a protagonist.
Yeah,
at least a tertiary character. It's just tough to imagine that you could have the gusto to go fight another war.
No cock.
I mean,
the eunuchs.
It would just yeah, and I imagine your testosterone would be lower, but that's just maybe colloquial.
Who knows?
I don't know.
I don't know, dude. Oh man, it's so good though. It's freaking incredible.
Yeah, I think about him a lot. So I hope his story turns around. Because what did he do wrong? Here's my question. Okay, he was adopted, right?
More or less.
Yeah, he
was taken, I guess, whenever Robert and Ned did their shit, like back in the day, stormed the castle, killed the Targaryens, took the throne. The Greyjoys like were against them on the opposite side, and they like raided or tried to take over, I guess, Winterfell.
Okay.
and then or tried to like fight back against Robert and Ned, and then so they tried to go over to Winterfell. Shit didn't go well. Like Theon's brothers all died, and then they took Theon as like a captive, more or less. So he's like adopted in that sense, kind of.
Okay, that checks out. That checks out. Is what I know. Okay, so I'm with you. He's over there. He's being raised by the Snows.
Yes.
By the
Starks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then it gets to a point where does he end up leaving home? Because Jon Snow goes to the wall, and then Theon goes to do something on his own accord.
Theon goes with Robb and goes and fights.
Right.
Gets Jaime and all that shit. Yeah, and then he dips out from Robb's camp because Robb's like, "Yo, we need more bodies, more or less. We need more bodies and we need ships." He's like, "You can go to your father and ask your father if we could borrow some ships and some men, and then whatever, we'll be homies after that."
Right,
We'll be all good. So then Theon goes back to home, talks to his dad, and his dad's like, "Fuck that shit. You're a punk ass bitch." He's like, "Why am I a punk ass bitch? Like, you're the punk ass bitch that lost, bro."
Yeah, I remember that shit.
Yeah.
He's basically like, "Fuck you, fuck me, fuck you."
Yeah, right.
Yes.
He's like, "Fuck you, bro." He's like, "Okay," and then he's like, "Well, if you really want to like to win my love back or like become my son or whatever, like do what I would deem to be a good thing, then like let's go take Winterfell. Like they're not like there's no one there defending it. Like we could take that shit right now." And then he's like, "All right, I'm gonna go do that shit."
Yeah.
And then he did that shit.
Okay, but then at what point does he get captured by the Flayers?
After he takes over Winterfell, he kills the people or kills that guy, and then he like tries to kill the boys.
He pretends to kill him.
Pretends to kill the boys. The boys escape with Hodor and the lady, Asha or Osha, whichever one. And then they just end up surrounding him, like like Robb's people. He sends the Boltons.
Right. Okay. So, but they're Robb's people at that point in time.
They're Robb's people at that point in time.
That's crazy, bro. So,
yeah, like the Ramsay Bolton and what's his dad's name? The other Bolton guy.
He was like
his right hand man, or like part of his like war council. Robb's war council. Ramsay and I'm forgetting the dad's name, but the dad was like his right hand man. But
I'm trying to remember what he looks like because he doesn't make it too much longer, right?
He makes like another season or so.
Okay,
but then he ends up dying. Ramsay kills him.
Yeah.
To become like the Lord of the Dreadfort or whatever.
Right, because he has another son, and he's like, "Fuck that."
Kills
shit,
them
bro.
too. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, but I'm with you though. I remember all this shit. I remember the tents. I remember the war rooms. I remember the fucking his girlfriend leading up to the Red Wedding. I'm with you.
Yeah, and then so Theon captures Winterfell. Then Robb sends the Boltons back to go surround them, and then they're surrounded. And then Theon's like, "We're gonna go fucking do this shit. We're about to go die. Let's fucking go." And then they knock him out. And then they hand him over.
Yeah, it's fucked.
Yeah,
that's fucked, dude.
It's fucked. It's pretty fucked.
He had some balls right then. That was like gonna be a glory moment.
It could have been a redeeming moment for him.
Much rather have him die that way, dude. Didn't even go through the Flayer, bro.
Yeah, that shit's terrible, bro. That shit's terrible, dog.
Dude, it's
just the personality embodying like the worst part of humanity. You know what I'm saying? Like the most cynical, the most whatever the word is. Whenever you get pleasure from someone else's pain, masochist or whatever. Sadistic. Yeah. Whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, whatever, like that personality embodied. It's like real people are like that. You know what I'm saying? People are fucking crazy.
The dark triad is there that Jordan Peterson talks about. Like, I think it's like sadism, narcissism, and something else. But it's these personality traits that people ended up bodying and animating, and like it's tough. It's tough out there.
Yeah,
people that get caught in those cycles.
So yeah, he kind of had a really shitty story.
Yeah, bro, fucking tough. I'm like,
he's a tough story, bro. He's a tough story.
Feel bad for that guy, boy.
Tough character.
Yeah, I'm on the final season.
Yeah,
so
are you on what, 7 or 8?
Well, I've just got the password back, so I haven't activated it and started watching it yet. But I had seen like the first episode of the last season, but I was like half watching it, and then I just like looked over and like crazy shit was going on. I don't want no spoilers because I get it if you hadn't seen it.
We've been spoiling it.
Oh yeah, true.
There's a lot of spoilers in this bitch.
Damn, if I were me, I would have skipped over all of that.
Yeah.
But I look back and Targaryen and Jon Snow are like fucking getting after it, like hooking up, and I was like, bro, what the fuck? Like you felt it, but you weren't sure, and I was like, I have to run it back. I gotta run it back. So
yeah, great show.
I'm excited to see how it goes. Now I get why it's called Fire and Ice, because like, yeah, totally.
The Targaryens and the Starks.
Yeah.
Jon's that motherfucker, bro. It hasn't even been confirmed in the books, but like the show confirms it more or less that like that is who he is. You know what I'm saying?
That motherfucker.
Yeah,
the
the
ice.
son of Rhaegar or whatever.
Oh, so I'm not quite that far, but like I already kind of predicted because they kind of like show on the show when Bran's going back in time,
Yep.
and he's talking to like this lady. But then if you paid attention earlier, it described that lady as being a Targaryen. I'm pretty sure. And then no, that's his sister. But then it talks about how the Targaryen left his person he was going to marry for Ned's sister. And then I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, wait, if that's that guy and that's Ned's sister, then that could be Jon Snow, and then he could have both, dog. He might be able to ride a fucking dragon. I don't know,
He's
dude.
that
Like-
motherfucker, bro. He's that motherfucker.
Yeah. And so once that was in the back of my mind, that was competing because I kind of wanted Daenerys and Jon Snow to get together, because Daenerys is like, well, superpower as far as politics go in Westeros.
Yeah.
Superpower, but also she's like hot. You know what I'm saying?
She got dragons in it.
Yeah,
bitch.
she's a her for sure.
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah, that's her.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, I want my that's him to like end up with the that's her, but like, are they related? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Like, do we care? I don't know, man.
Do we? That's the question.
Different time.
Different times. It was the custom back then.
So yeah,
That's
that's
what the part of the show, the part of the whole show was predicated on too. In the first episode, you know what I'm saying, with fucking Jaime and Cersei, and then
yeah, right.
everything proceeding after that moment. You know what I'm saying? All the shit that happened before, leading up to that first episode, it's like, and now Bran's out the window, and here we fucking go. He's a 3-eyed raven, bitch. We're
Yeah.
coming in hot.
True, dude. God, there's so much going on there. Brand's storyline's
good.
fucking awesome.
It's so good.
I'm trying to see what
It's
happens
so
to him.
ridiculous. Yeah, it's better the second time, bro. It's even better the second time. It's so freaking
The
good,
competency you had with that information just now was mind blowing. You're like, you mean when the Boltons were with the Starks and then he sent him over there, then betrayed him? I was like, God damn, you really know what's going on here.
Oh yeah, I follow that shit heavy, bro. I've probably seen the first season like 3 times, 4 times, and I've seen all of it at least twice. Some of it 3 times.
Really good.
No,
really
dude,
good.
It's fucking incredible. If y'all haven't seen it, you're missing out. But either way, it'll be there for you whenever you're ready for it.
Yeah, last shout out for
be
good
ready
TV,
to,
dude.
yeah, be ready
Severance
to
is
enjoy
fire.
it. Oh yeah, Severance.
Yeah.
Nice, bro.
Fire, dude.
We watching what, The Night Agent? It's a show on Netflix.
Yeah, I've played it, but I haven't watched it.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Sometimes I need some
Interesting
TV on.
enough. Yeah, interesting enough for sure.
That's cool.
It's good. It's solid.
I'll give it a
Especially
run.
the first season was good too. The first season, I remember watching it, and like, I think it's based on a book, but it's like the way that the first episode was shot, or maybe it's like how the book starts, but like just the first 10 minutes, you're just like, oh shit, what's going on here? Like, I'm in this bitch.
Yeah.
It does a good job of that, and like that was like done on purpose. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
think it was just like super captivating up front.
It's a hook.
Yeah, it hooked you in the first episode. It's
Nice.
like solid,
Nice.
and then you just let it ride after that.
Yeah, facts. Dude, I want to watch Travelers again, but I don't want to. It's almost weird. You ever like?
Is it done?
They canceled it, so
Oh.
it'll never actually finish.
Lame.
Yeah, but they knew they were getting canceled, so they kind of like wrote what could be like an ending. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But actually, no, I don't even think that's true. They just had something really climactic happen at the end of the last season that they shot, so that's kind of like what you get at the end of it, and it's like a good overall ending to some degree to kind of represent the fuck's important, what the message is. But they kind of left it in this place where they weren't sure what was going to happen next. They're like, I don't know. Like, we did the thing and then the thing happened, so now I really don't know. And then it showed like time passing and like nothing happening, and it was like, oh fuck, maybe they're just like stuck in the past, you know, maybe it's over. Because also, well, here the predicate of Travelers is these people come from the future to the past to try to change things that are happening to give us a better future, because they ended up in famine, overpopulation, crumbling society. Nobody was having a good life. So they're like, we got to change things. We need to, what we ultimately need is to not get hit by this comet so that our crops don't die.
Yeah.
So if you can identify the comet, show it to a scientist, like get somebody on board to start
Get ahead of it.
prepping, yeah, then we'll be good. And then that's like their main goal. But then ultimately, like also if they change the future enough, then like maybe the future that they came from doesn't exist anymore. So maybe they don't have someone calling them back and giving them instructions and telling them what to do next.
Yeah. Or maybe it's a part of the building on the idea that like if you go back in time, you can't like everything was already preordained and pre-measured. So like all the changes that you would have made, like everything happens and then you would just like stay in that reality. Or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's it too. There's parts where like, so the future has an AI that's able to send people back in time. It's like a supercomputer that can transfer consciousness. And it also runs every prediction for every scenario, for every timeline, for everything that's happening in real time. So it can tell you like, don't do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, and then we'll have the optimal outcome. And so your goal is to like do everything exactly like the AI said, so that way its predictive analytics work. And then like it's also the one giving you instructions. So like season 1, they do all these things and it's still giving them instructions. And then season 2, they're still getting instructions, but things are kind of also changing on this end. Now there's other players coming and getting involved. Now there's like a faction of terrorists that's going back trying to stop the good
People
guys.
who are stopping.
Yeah, exactly. So there's 2 time traveler groups in modern day time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it evolves and shit like that. And allegedly everything they're doing is changing the reality in some way or another for the better or worse. But they're not like completely out of that timeline as soon as they go back in time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that show is kind of saying that we are on one timeline, but if we could go back in time and change things a little bit, then the butterfly effects would be like tangible to each other. We wouldn't change it so much. It's so different that never happens.
Right.
It's a fun thought experiment.
Yeah, yeah. It's a tight show.
Yeah.
That show's tight. Altered Carbon's another tight show like that.
Fucking gas, bro.
That's just gas, y'all, if you got a second.
Golly, I gotta watch that show.
It's still on Netflix, right? I'm sure it is.
I'm sure. It's one of their hits.
Yeah, yeah. Altered Carbon. I think there's only 2 seasons. There might be another one, but it's tight. Worth the watch for sure. That's some gas. That's some gas recommendations right there. Game of Thrones, Altered Carbon, Travelers, Severance. Night Agent's pretty solid. It's like a spy, FBI, shoot 'em up kind of show. You know?
Hell yeah.
Thriller.
Jack Reacher.
It's like that.
Yeah, Prime. And also the Jim Halpert one.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I think it's not Jack Reacher, but
I thought it was. No, it's not.
that's a different one.
Okay.
Reacher is
What the fuck's his then?
a blonde giant dude. He's fucking massive and yoked.
What the fuck is his then? His I know what you're talking about.
You know what
exactly
I'm saying?
what you're talking about.
It's really good.
Oh, the one with Donald Glover in it is fucking great too. Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Oh yeah, really
that
good.
shit's gas, bro. Yeah, we watched that. That shit's fucking awesome. That show's tight.
That show is a moment in time.
I love that guy.
I
Love that guy.
fucking love that guy,
That's
man.
my fucking dog, bro.
Ugh.
Making hits.
That guy makes good art.
Yeah.
You see me feel all that? That guy makes good art.
Yeah, he makes good art. Maybe not Jack Reacher. Damn, I can't remember.
Jack Ryan.
There it is.
Bang. got
Right?
it. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. That's why it was
That's
hard to
good.
remember because it was so fucking similar.
Yeah, for sure. And Jim Halpert,
JR,
Jack Ryan. It's
yeah.
like all fucking right there.
Yes, dog. Some good recommendations.
Yeah.
Yes, man. You want to sign off a little bit and do a little bit of brainstorming,
Yeah, we're gonna try to
music storming,
make some musica day 38.
lightning striking, listening to some beats and shit?
Yeah, facts. Try to record some shit, lay some shit down.
Yes, bro. Well, fuck yes, y'all. Thank you for joining in, tuning in, staying on the path. We're staying on the path to the best of our ability. We're praying for you. We're rooting for you. You know what's going on. Any words of encouragement for the beautiful people?
Keep going. That's just what's been in my head a lot lately. I want to say I love you. That was the first thing that came to my head.
Okay.
But I didn't want to just, jump to that. Love you guys. Also. But yeah, just keep going. And then, oh yeah, I was thinking we could if you listen to Sexy Songs for You, maybe we could do a review next week.
Yeah, the album.
Yeah, just talk about what we think about it.
New Drizzo.
Yeah, some new Drake came out post Kendrick Beatdowns.
Yeah, it was on. It dropped on Valentine's Day,
Yeah. I think midnight.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I saw it and I was like, shit, I'll save that shit.
Yeah.
And then I'll give it 2 run throughs. Got some thoughts. We'll go
Nice.
over it. It might be viral content.
Talk about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. Yeah, I need to listen to it.
But yeah,
But we'll get into it.
just keep going.
We can get in. We'll get to the bottom of things over here. That's what we're doing. That's what the fuck we're doing over here. I don't know what other people are talking about. What they're trying to do. We're getting to the bottom of things.
I think the only thing you can do is adjust your energy.
Yeah.
Like, trying to do anything else is actually just adjusting your energy negatively. So
Hmm.
all you can do is adjust your energy. Like whatever that is to you, whatever your mode, whatever your medium, however you go about it, whatever your life experience has taught you, like all you can do is like your own attitude. That's all I got.
Get that mental, baby. Get that mental right. We love y'all. We'll see you on the flip. Have a great rest of your life. See you next time.
Rolling through the city to the light show. Really ain't no telling where we might